The Tomb of Elders released this week, and it's a redesigned version of Prison of Elders from Destiny 1, while Bungie is giving us a preview of the future of PVE activities in the game, and some of the contents of the new Fireteam operations that's going to be coming with Destiny 2 Frontiers in 2025, or today. I want to go through my thoughts on the Tomb of Elders, how it all works, plus also look at it through the context of the Portal and Fireteam Ops coming in the next expansion of Destiny 2. If you enjoyed the video, then subscribe for more Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications to never miss an update. Well, Tomb of Elders was added into Destiny 2 this week with Act 2 in episode Revenant. This is a revamped version of Prison of Elders from Destiny 1 and offers up a repeatable PvE activity that allows us to take on hordes of enemies, and we also get a decent amount of loot along the way. You can unlock Tomb of Elders through the Act 2 story within episode Revenant. You've got to speak to Ido and then Mithrax and then get sent into the Tomb of Elders for an initial run. Once we get through that, we're then introduced to the more difficult variant, which is very similar in terms of gameplay with the difficulty ramped up just a little bit. We can find Tomb of Elders via the Director, navigate to the last city, and once you've unlocked both the modes via the story, you're going to be able to access Tomb of Elders and Contest of Elders from the menu there. Well, Tomb of Elders is a 3-player match-made activity similar to other seasonal activities like the Menagerie, Savathûn's Spire, Riven's Lair, and the Coil. So we've got to complete a couple of combat encounters that are dense with enemies, then we traverse in between encounters and then we face a boss before collecting some loot. The main difference here with Tomb of Elders is we have different combat modifiers, and that adjusts the combat difficulty in each room, similar to the original Prison of Elders from Destiny 1. So here's some examples. We've got Counterfeit. So when defeated, combatants can drop explosives disguised as familiar items. We've got Grounded, so incoming damage is greatly increased while airborne. We've got Brawn, where your HP is massively increased, but does not regenerate, so that is one to look out for. And then defeating challenging combatants will recover HP for you and nearby allies. And the modifiers then reset upon completing an encounter. So the activities themselves are pretty straightforward. You and your fire team have to complete the combat encounter to proceed through the prison. The objectives can then be broken up with sub-objectives like destroying generators or collecting explosives. Complete the encounter and then unlock the next one and then repeat all over again. So complete 2 rooms, then it's time to fight a boss. You have to remove the boss's shield before you can damage it, and removing the shield will differ for each boss. So for example, we've got the Mechanist requires you to collect square explosives and rig one of the nearby ether canisters to explode, and the Cabal boss requires you to destroy a Thresher first and eliminate the floating scions, and then the boss becomes vulnerable for a short duration once the mechanic is done, and then all you have to do is kill the boss in the window to finish the activity. Some of the encounters have a bonus objective that you've got to complete against a shorter time frame. For example, killing enemies with a Scorched Cannon or some heavy ammo. Complete the bonus objectives, you'll get reward tonic reagents. They are exclusive to the Tomb of Elders, and that includes Tomb Flakes. And some boss encounters have critical objectives that must be completed within time. And if you fail to complete these objectives, then your fire team get a debuff until the end of the encounter. Contest of Elders is a more challenging variant which is set to a 2020 power difficulty. You've got limited revives plus also additional combat modifiers and also Banes as well. To balance out the increased difficulty, we've also got more rewards at the end of each boss fight, and Contest of Elders has match made and also solo variants too. In terms of the rewards, we've got tonic reagents, and that allow us to focus farm weapons via the tonic system in the last city next to Ido. We've got 2 new weapons, including a Scavenger's Fate shotgun, the Noxious Vetiver submachine gun, and the returning Grid Skipper pulse rifle. And you also get Glimmer enhancement cores, plus also rarer materials for tonics. Well, that is pretty much it for Tomb of Elders. You know, it's a peek into the future for Destiny 2 PvE activities, and the upcoming improvements coming in the next major expansion, currently under the codename of Frontiers. You know, ever since Destiny 2 was released, we've had Vanguard, Crucible, and more recently Gambit, that was introduced in Forsaken. Seasonal content has introduced activities like the Menagerie, Savathûn's Spire, the Coil, Riven's Lair, those type of activities, but they tend to go away when new major expansions release, so that's a lot of effort going into activities that actually go out of the game. I think more recently Battlegrounds have proved quite popular, which are quite similar to strikes, although a little bit different, where you've got an encounter, bit of traversal, encounter, traversal, and then final boss. So I think Battlegrounds is a good evolution, but they still are very, very similar to strikes. They're not quite like seasonal activities. So with the next major expansion, Bungie is introducing something called the Portal, and that is going to make it easier to jump into a range of activities. So here is a brief rundown from Bungie on what the Portal is. So the Portal is going to offer several categories of activities, each with a wide selection of new and updated activities refreshed every 3 months with each major update. All activities in the Portal will provide updated and worthwhile rewards, so it's going to be easy to find something to play, and the destination map will be cleaned up and focused on world navigation and accessing older activities. So the reason why Bungie are doing this is because the director has grown to be very unwieldy, it's quite hard to use, it's making it hard to find specifically what's current and worthwhile to play, and it requires ever more expert knowledge to navigate and find what you are looking for. The Portal aims to help with this by providing quick ways to jump into meaningful content. And Bungie are going to create 6 categories here of meaningful content. So we've got solo ops. That means 1 to 3 player activities requiring very low time or social commitment. And these activities are designed for solo players, yet are still fun with a fire team, and they're easy to pick up and play for a quick session. Solo ops are also going to feature a new activity type, which will get a deep dive soon. So the next one is quite crucial, that's the Fireteam Ops, and that is where I think something like Tomb of Elders is going to be. So let's hear a little bit more about Fireteam Ops. 3 player activities for match-made or pre-made groups, designed for fire teams with more cooperation and coordination, and these will feature activities like strikes, onslaught, the coil, and new types in the future. We've also got Flashpoint Ops as 6 player activities for match-made or pre-made groups, planned for a future season. This category will be introduced later next year. It's going to feature more chaotic 6-player combats, like offensives, so that sounds very interesting indeed. Don't know too many details about that yet. Then we've got Pinnacle Ops, 3-player activities featuring some more challenging content, including dungeons, exotic missions, and full-length onslaughts. Pinnacle Ops have exclusive reward pools to claim, but success is not guaranteed. And then we've got Crucible, so you know all about Crucible, so don't need to go into that. So given this list from Bungie, I think Tomb of Elders would go into Fireteam Ops. I think we're going to see more of these game modes in the game now, like Tomb of Elders, Onslaught, these repeatable activities, and we could see the return of other activities like the Menagerie, Riven's Lair, the Coil. Personally, I would really like to see the Menagerie return, as that was a well-loved activity, particularly during the period where we could get all that extra loot, although that probably has influenced the large amount of loot that we're seeing from Tomb of Elders, especially in that loot room. Tyson Green, who's the Destiny 2 game director, did mention new types of game modes in his article called Paving the Way for New Frontiers, and that was released back in September. So Tyson said, "We're excited to try new things that challenge your idea of what a Destiny experience can be. We're actively prototyping non-linear campaigns, exploration experiences similar to Dreaming City or Metroidvanias, and even more unusual formats like roguelikes or survival shooters, and each expansion will present a new opportunity to try something different." So encouraging stuff there from Tyson Green, and the Tomb of Elders, I think it is pretty good. I was a big fan of the Prison of Elders back in Destiny 1, but good to see the Tomb of Elders finally make it in Destiny 2, and I think it's a really, really good activity, and I can imagine it going into Fireteam Ops when Frontiers comes out next year. But let me know in the comments what you think about the Tomb of Elders in Destiny 2, and let me know what you want to see in the future of PvE activities in the game. Well, that is it for this look today at the Tomb of Elders and the future of PvE in Destiny 2, and as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for even more Destiny 2 content here on Endgame Express. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon. Well, thank you for watching that video, and today I'd like to talk about Endgame Express Backstage, the home of exclusive content for fans of Endgame Express. To join, simply join up through Patreon or the YouTube membership. You get early access and exclusive content, shout-outs in the videos, access to live streams, plus also access to our exclusive In-Game Express Backstage Community Discord. Well, here's some more information about the tiers. So in Tier 1, that is $2.99 a month, you get access to our community Discord and also early access to content. In Tier 2, that is $4.99 and you get shoutouts in the credits of videos, and also you get access to community polls and help shape the content. For Tier 3, that is $8.99 and you'll get access to exclusive community videos and also get access to exclusive live streams as well. Well, the core content on In-Game Express is always going to be free, but if you want to go above and beyond and support In-Game Express, then all you need to do is get access to In-Game Express Backstage today through Patreon or YouTube membership. You know, In-Game Express is a one-man band right now, but I would love to expand into more games, podcasts, more channels, but to do that, I'm going to need your help to make this sustainable, and in return, I offer you some exclusive benefits and backstage-only content. Well, if you enjoy In-Game Express, then consider In-Game Express Backstage today. You can hit that membership button right down below, or you can find us on the Patreon links, and you'll find those links in the description. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.